All right, what is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? Welcome here to my first video here on this channel. I still have no idea what I'm gonna officially call this channel. You may see the title or the name of this channel change a couple times, but today I pretty much just wanted to talk about Ryan Rollins, right? This is a video that I said I wanted to talk about in yesterday's video. I think one of the more interesting storylines of the 2026 NBA season so far, because if you talked about the Milwaukee Bucks, right, in the offseason, I was worried about their future. And could Ryan Rollins actually be the savior of this team? Could he be the guy that maybe elevates their floor a little bit this year? I don't know if he's going to elevate the ceiling. I don't want to get ahead of myself. It's 6 games into a long season, but this is something that Milwaukee didn't really have over the last few years that is going to be crucial and vital to how far they can go this year. Now, it obviously helps a ton that Giannis is playing at an MVP level so far to start off this season. If the season ended today after 6 or so games, he'd be MVP, but we have a long ways to go. This shouldn't shock anybody, though. Giannis is one of the best players in the NBA. Right now, he might be the best player in the NBA. But I want to talk about Ryan Rollins specifically and kind of where the Bucks can go from here. So we're 6 games, just 6 games, like I said, into the season. But Ryan Rollins, who was undrafted a few years ago, who was picked up by the the Golden State Warriors after getting drafted, right? He appeared in 12 games for the Warriors in 2023. Barely playing for this team. This is a Warriors roster that did make it to the second round. He gets traded then in that offseason in the Chris Paul Jordan Poole trade. So now when we look at that deal, it was Jordan Poole. It was a future first round pick, which is a fake one. It's top 20 protected in 2030, and then it becomes seconds. And Ryan Rollins was in this trade as well. Now, Washington did release Ryan Rollins, and this played a big part into it because Bucks fans may think of target security for their success with Rollins right now. So this happened in January of 2024. Former Wizards guard Ryan Rollins charged with shoplifting from Target multiple times while he was with the team. And it raised a few eyebrows back in January of 24 when the Washington Wizards, who were terrible in 2024, waived Ryan Rollins, a 21-year-old guard who had shown some promise defensively and had potential. That was what we kind of knew about Rollins. He was definitely a impressive scorer at Toledo. I didn't really know much about him until he got picked up on an NBA team, and then now you're seeing some of the Toledo highlights resurface from what he did then. And then, yeah, he pretty much gets arrested for shoplifting at Target. And then this was a reason why, we don't want this on our hands. Shout out to Pierre here on NBC Sports. But Ryans was on a minimum contract with the Wizards, making $1.7 million in his second season. And they basically classed this as a Class 1 misdemeanor in Virginia, which is a fine, basically, that he got. And he didn't really serve jail time whatsoever. So if you look at his, transaction period, he gets waived in January of 2024. And we've seen Milwaukee kind of make desperate moves over the last year or so. So this is after the Bradley Beal, after the Damian Lillard trade, where that just hasn't gone to plan really whatsoever in the 2024 season. When this happened, they end up getting bounced in round number 1 by Indiana. They get bounced in round 1 by Indiana again in 2025. Basically a month and a couple weeks after, he gets picked up by Milwaukee. Milwaukee's we should take a flyer on this. And then he got his contract fully converted from a 2-way to a regular contract in 2025, where I thought he took strides as a player kind of going forward. If you look at his 2024 numbers, didn't really play. G League guy, 2-way guy. He appeared in 56 games last year for Milwaukee. Dame was banged up last year. They didn't really acquire Kevin Porter Jr. until after the trade deadline with the MarJon Beauchamp trade. He shot 40% from 3. He averaged 6 points. But if you were watching Bucks basketball, you really loved his defensive intensity. This guy was playing like he had a job on the line. And that's maybe what Milwaukee needed. Guys that weren't having these contracts handed out to them. Guys that really need to do the dirty work, dive for loose balls, just kind of take the tough assignment defensively on a night-to-night basis. And the numbers are incredible so far this year. So 6 games, he started 5 of them. I even tweeted out in the preseason that I think Ryan Rollins is the best point guard on this team. I think he's better than Cole Anthony, better than Kevin Porter Jr., and should start for this team. Now, those are still kind of a debate, right? Who's the best out of those 3? But I think for what Rollins can provide you defensively that those other 2 can't, yeah, I'll go with this moving forward. 32 minutes so far this year. He's shooting 53% from the field, 40% from 3, 88% from the free throw line, averaging 18 points, 5.5 assists, and 4 rebounds a night for the Milwaukee Bucks. This was somebody that I might have said before was undrafted. He was not undrafted. He was the 44th overall pick in the 22 draft. But This has been one of the best storylines this year. And if you watched that Golden State Warriors game with Ryan Rollins, kind of just looking comfortable, handling the rock offensively in this game, going right in the paint with his speed, his quickness, his agility that he has with the ball in his hands that they don't have right now with Kevin Porter Jr. That Dame last year was somebody that demanded a lot of pick and roll. Ryan Rollins is somebody you can move well off ball, and he's not Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard is a lot better of a scorer, player, and offensive creator, but Rollins also signed essentially a one-year deal. It's like a 1+1 with the Milwaukee Bucks in the offseason, a 2+1. Oh my God. $4 million this year, $4 million in 2027, and a $4 million player option in 2028. That is one of the best contracts in the NBA right now if you're going to get somebody that's knocking down shots like this. And maybe opposing defenses really aren't game planning for Ryan Rollins right now, but they should be, because this guy's got great touch around the rim. He's finishing with contact inside, and that Warriors defense has some Hall of Famers on it. Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, Steph Curry on it. Jimmy and Draymond, some of the best defenders that we've seen over the last 10 or so years, and Draymond is still playing at an elite defensive level, and Rollins just commanded that offense, was making nice reads to Miles Turner on the perimeter, was running the pick and roll like somebody that looked like a seasoned vet out there that they weren't really getting. And this is just like what they needed, right? You need one of those random players to break out, and they kind of got that with AJ Green over the last year or so. Like, AJ Green has been such a good developmental story for the Milwaukee Bucks. But Ryan Rollins, I think, for where he was a year and a half ago, like literally getting released by the worst team or one of the worst teams in the league for something you did off the court. Shout out to John Horst. Like, we have given Milwaukee so much shit for their drafting and just how they've kind of mishandled the draft over the last few years. Either it's the Marjon Beauchamp pick, either it's maybe taking AJ Johnson, who was not ready to be a contributor for this team, and then trading him for Kyle Kuzma. There's been the DJ Wilson pick. There's been the Thon Maker pick. There's been a lot of bad draft picks for this team over the last few years. And I don't know. I'm just glad that they've kind of developed internally Ryan Rollins and AJ Green. Like, even like Tyler Smith, I loved coming out of the G League Ignite. I thought there still could be something in Chris Livingston, even though maybe he should have stayed at college another year. Even Andre Jackson, as like his role playing ability for the UConn Huskies that won a national title in 2023, I thought was going to translate seamlessly to the next level as a role player for the Milwaukee Bucks. That didn't happen. And these guys are either out of the rotation or just off the team completely. I will say, though, if you watch like that fourth quarter with Ryan Rollins against the Warriors, I'm not like super comfortable with him being the main ball handler on the perimeter. Like, I thought he was going to make some really bad passes, some dumb turnovers, and it got a little hectic out there. I had to hold my breath a little bit because I was rooting hard for this guy, given his incredible story over the last year and a half, like I said. And it came through, man. This guy is knocking down contested three-point jumpers. He is seeing the floor extremely well. He took like Will Richard right to the rim, who is roughly the same age as Ryan Rollins and is a much more accomplished like college player. And I thought it's looked good off the start of the season. You just got to be thrilled about these catch and shoot numbers too for Ryan Rollins so far, because I'm hoping to get maybe eventually some synergy numbers my way this season. But like catch and shoot so far this year, shooting about 35% on threes on catch and shoot, pull-ups 50%. That is not going to stay the same. I would be very impressed if that stayed the same over the course of the season. But shooting 40% on threes so far this year, being able to be this efficient around the rim as a guard is really impressive as well. 63% on twos. That's better than like Zion Williamson, who I think shooting like 50% on twos this year. Like I said to kick off this video, I do think Ryan Rollins is one of the best stories in the NBA so far this year. I don't know if he's going to win Most Improved. Now, he's going to play this amount of minutes and kind of can perform 80% of this hot start throughout the rest of the year. He would be my Most Improved pick. Like, this is somebody that is the definition of a Most Improved player. I thought Kobe White should have won it a couple years ago over Maxey. Like, Wemby should not be in conversation this year. Like, if Cade Cunningham won it last year, throw the award out. He didn't. It goes to Dyson Daniels, who was very improved, but Dyson Daniels also a top 10 pick in the league and had the talent to do so. Like, Ryan Rollins getting waived by the worst team in the league, second round pick, and having the season he is right now. This is what a Most Improved player looks like. I think AJ Mitchell, what he's doing is incredible in OKC. I don't know if sophomore should really get that award, but like the step back three on Jimmy Butler, man, against the Warriors. This is one of my favorite players to watch this year, just given the storyline. And I've talked a lot about his offense. I think his defense has looked great this year, his point of attack defense. And it could also just be on bigger defenders as well. I thought he looked great on like Jarris Walker in their win against the Indiana Pacers last night as well. He could pick you up across half court. He made Dennis Schroeder, who's a seasoned veteran, going up against like across half court. Also kind of looks silly out there, and then is super quick in transition as well. It's just a breath of fresh air, especially for Bucks fans who watched some really bad point guard play last year when Damian Lillard was banged up. And as much as Damian Lillard is more advanced as an offensive player and as a shooter as Ryan Rollins, you are not getting this hunger, this intensity, this intuition, the passing instincts that you are getting from Ryan Rollins right now. And I don't know how you could start Kevin Porter Jr. when he comes back. Like, shout out to Cole Anthony, who I think has been pretty good this year for basically what the Bucks are paying him. That's like next to nothing. I think that you have to go with Ryan Rollins still as your main point guard. And like, you don't even need him to be the one. Like, he could be out there with Cole Anthony as well, given what he could be as a three-point shooter and also what he's doing as a defender. So yeah, like I said, I've been very impressed so far this year with Ryan Rollins. I hope that Milwaukee continues to play him going forward as much as he is right now, because he definitely deserves those minutes here on the floor. I mean, AJ Green, I mentioned him briefly before, but he's also an incredible developmental story with this team. 51% on threes. He's a better defender than you may think as well. Gary Trent Jr. is knocking down his threes this year. I think Kyle Kuzma in a much more scaled back role is what you need from him in the year 2026. This isn't like 2020, 2023 Kyle Kuzma anymore. You hope Cole Anthony's three-point shot will come back to life just a little bit, but I think he's been good as a downhill attacker for this team. He's been shooting roughly like 67% on twos this year. It's funny because like Bobby Portis has maybe been like, and Miles Turner have been like the most disappointing Milwaukee Bucks this year. I think Turner maybe offensively and Bobby Portis defensively. I don't love his defense specifically in the post as well. If you watch the tape against the Sacramento Kings in their loss, it was not pretty, just not even getting a hand up whatsoever out there. But the Bucks have some depth. They had plenty of quantity this year, and it's funny because I tweeted out in the offseason, I actually kind of want to find this tweet. So it's basically when they picked up Cole Anthony from the buyout market, right? And I said the Bucks are going to have some real solid guard depth next year. I didn't say that this is like the best backcourt in the league, but when you took into account Kevin Porter Jr., Cole Anthony, Ryan Rollins, who I was high on, not this high, but I was high on him, AJ Green, Gary Trent Jr., I was impressed. And then, yeah, I got You Don't Watch Basketball, Do You? That's maybe the worst guard room in the league. They legit have the worst guards in the league. I'm confused by this assessment. Yeah, I got hate on a lot for this one. And damn, these ones were actually kind of harsh. I don't know if I'm right. You can let me know in the comments if I'm right. I don't want to take a victory lap 6 weeks in. But yeah, I don't know. I never said that they were the best guard depth in the room or in the league, but this is people saying that you don't actually watch basketball, do you? It's such a tough one to get because it sucks because I do watch basketball. So when someone's saying that, it's like, all right, maybe I don't have the same opinion as you. I liked Ryan Rollins. I mean, I liked AJ Green a ton. I liked Gary Trent Jr., especially what he did in the playoffs. I'm like, Cole Anthony is still a good player. Like, did you guys, maybe these people didn't watch the Bucks guard depth last year when Damian Lillard was hurt because it was abysmal. Like, it was a lot of Kevin Porter Jr. It was DeLon Wright, who they traded for Jericho Sims. It was Pat Connaughton. It was Andre Jackson, Jamari Bouya. We had to watch out there who, hey, no disrespect to him. He had a good game last year as well, but it's just night and day difference from what they have rolling out this year. And I think the Milwaukee Bucks' ceiling is always going to be as far as Giannis Antetokounmpo can take them, and they've looked good this year. Are they a contender? Hey, it's the Eastern Conference. It's still wide open. We still need to see what the Knicks are going to look like later in the year under a new offensive scheme. We're going to see if the Sixers are going to be legit. Maybe Chicago's gonna be legit. I don't know. Cleveland, we haven't seen them at full strength yet. So we still have to see like Orlando and Atlanta kind of get their juices or their kind of games flowing as well. But Milwaukee, right now, you could say is up there. Shout out to the Miami Heat as well, as a team that could definitely make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and that should be good enough to keep Giannis here. And I think like Ryan Rollins maybe isn't like the savior, but without him, I don't know if the Bucks are gonna go this far. Hey, Ryan Rollins can go on a shooting slump, and maybe he's not gonna be a rotational guy in the second half. And I'm going to look like an idiot now, but I do believe he's a good rotational player in this league. And maybe 35 minutes a night could be too much for him, but this guy playing 20 plus minutes a night, I think can really do the dirty work and be a winning player for you on a night-to-night basis. So that was my first video, kind of just rambling, talking, chatting to you guys about Ryan Rollins and the Milwaukee Bucks. I think it's an incredible story so far this year. I think he could be in consideration for most improved player. It's a long season, but so far this year, I've definitely been impressed. Let me know if you guys did enjoy this video. Let me know if there's any other stuff you'd like to see me talk about going forward. You may get one video a day. You could get 2 videos a day. You may get no videos. It's just kind of what I'm feeling to talk about. I'll probably do like any Bleacher Report or ESPN reactions on this channel as well. Like I said in the channel update last, just kind of treating this like a burner channel as well, just being able to talk about whatever I want with not really having a stress on the analytics or anything like that. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you guys are subscribed. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.